There's plenty to be fascinated about when it comes to learning about the International Space Station. One of those several interesting things would be the station's prohibition of any Chinese spacecraft. When the first component of the International Space Station was first launched in 1998, the world did not know what to expect. Neither could they comprehend the magnitude of the greatness of the project. Since then, the station has since come a long way, and its journey thus far includes several highs and lows. Today on Super Freaky Science, we'll be talking about how the ISS came to be and why and how China got banned from the station altogether. Let's take a quick launch into this story and find out. What is the International Space Station? The ISS is a multi-nation construction project that is said to be the largest single structure made by humans that has ever been sent and put into space. Although the station continues to evolve as more components are added and more missions are included, it all started in the mid-80s when an American project, then named Space Station Freedom, was proposed to have a permanent Earth-orbiting station habitable to visitors from Earth. The project later evolved and the station was brought to life by the collaboration of 5 different space agencies, including NASA for the United States, JAXA for Japan, Roscosmos for Russia, ESA for Europe, and CSA for Canada. The components for the modular space station were manufactured in various countries all around the world, essentially the 5 countries whose space agencies contributed to the project. The International Space Station was eventually launched into space in 1998 and welcomed its first long-term visitors 2 years later, in November of 2000. And so for the past 2 decades, the ISS has continued to circle our planet, carrying out the purpose for which it was sent there in the first place. The running of the station is divided essentially into 2 parts. One part, the Russian orbital segment, is run and operated by Russia, while the other, the United States orbital segment, is operated by the US alongside other countries. Seeing as the station was established by several countries in collaboration, it makes quite a lot of sense that the ownership and use of the habitat satellites are established by intergovernmental treaties and agreements. So this starts to make you wonder, with China being one of the world's most powerful countries, what could the nation possibly have done to warrant exclusion from this magnificent project? Keep watching to find out. Banning China from the International Space Station. In 2010, the European Space Agency Director General Jean-Jacques Dordain revealed that the agency was ready to extend collaboration proposals to 3 other countries, requesting that they join the 5 founding collaborators in the ISS partnership. These 3 countries were China, India, and South Korea. Following this announcement, it was also said that China was ready to join the ISS partnership. However, the United States was having none of that. In 2011, the US representative named Frank Wolf came out with a blatant refusal for China's involvement. At first, the sole reason given was that China's space agency was too young and inexperienced to have anything tangible to offer the ISS alliance. However, when China started making more space exploits, it was soon discovered that that was not the case. The US rep, who is well known for being a vocal critic of the Chinese government, spearheaded a move to prohibit the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, as well as NASA, from joining hands with China to work on and operate the International Space Station. This move sought to prohibit both agencies from collaborating with China on not just the International Space Station, but also any other scientific or technological activities. Later that year, the prohibition was dropped into a congressional spending bill. When asked for the reasons why this prohibition was made and allowed to pass, Frank Wolf said that the United States, as a whale, thought it best to refrain from such close activities with China as a matter of national security. According to him, they did not want to give China the opportunity to take advantage of their technology and possibly turn around by using it against the United States. Wolf added that the United States had nothing to gain from collaborating with China, and it would only serve as an open way for China to infiltrate their science and technology. Claiming that China had attempted to steal from the US in the past, Wolf also alleged that every government agency of the United States, as well as every major United States company, has suffered cyber attacks, presumably from none other than China. All of this, of course, was in a perceived attempt to get the country's secrets. What did China do after the banning? When it comes to science, technology, and all-around innovation, China is not lagging behind on the global scale at all. Of course, many countries perceive communist operations as a threat to the world at large. This also blends into the country's aspirations for a space station. China reportedly hoped to transform itself into some sort of mega-powerful military, economic, and technological force using the space station. This is precisely what the US officials worried about collaborating. Even though Wolf retired in 2017 after successfully running 17 terms in office, his law still carried on. Unsurprisingly, China has not sat around twiddling its thumbs and waiting for the US to give it a chance. Guess what? They started their own space adventures and ultimately their own space station. In 2011, China's Tiangong-1, or Heavenly Palace 1, as it's also casually referred to, was launched to carry out docking and orbital experiments. This was China's first prototype station, and it came not long after the country already conducted 2 lunar exploration probes as well as sent 3 manned rockets into space. Only a few months after Tiangong-1 was launched, China carried out its first docking exercise between 2 unmanned spacecraft, the Tiangong-1 module and the Shenzhou 8 spacecraft. This step was highly vital to securing their plans for a long-term manned presence in the Great Unknown. 2013 saw China land an unmanned spacecraft on the Moon, making them the third to accomplish the feat after the US and the Soviet Union. 2016 also saw the ISS banned country launch its second experimental space station, the Tiangong 2, as part of a larger long-standing plan to have a permanent orbital space station up and running sometime in 2022. At the beginning of 2019, the Chang'e 4 robotic spacecraft was launched as part of the second part of the Chinese lunar exploration program, only a year and a half before they completed their several-year-long navigation network with the final Beidou satellite. The rest of 2020 saw China execute their first independent mission to another planet by launching an unmanned probe to Mars, as well as more installations in their lunar exploration program with the Chang'e 5 and the Chang'e 6. 2021 has also held great exploits for China as they successfully launched the Tani core module in April, the Tanzhou 2 cargo craft in May, and the Shenzhou 12 spacecraft with 3 astronauts and the front parts of the Tani core module in June of 2021. It appears, after all, that the ISS banning turned out all too well for China, as they continue to expand their space exploration programs despite being iced out by the global collaboration on that front. What do you think about China getting banned from using the ISS? Do you think the reasons were solid enough to warrant a total ban? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.